good.
Do you feel like T-Mac is going into the season kind of underrated?
I don't think that. I mean, he's a sophomore. You know what I mean? There's a lot of really good college football receivers in this league. And I think he's a young cat that just got his feet wet last year. So I'm confident that, once we start this season, a couple games into it, the world will recognize who he is. But I like that he's a little bit underrated. You know what I mean? He's always been this highly touted kid. So it gives him a little hunger, a little drive to let people know exactly what he is.
Do you think him being left off the Biletnikoff preseason watch list, do you think that motivates him?
He doesn't pay attention to none of that.
Okay.
He doesn't pay attention to any of that. He just focuses on what he has to do. So I don't even know if he even saw it, to be honest with you, until people probably told him about it.
College basketball coaches often say, like, between the freshman and sophomore year, that's the big jump. Is it the same in football?
Yeah, for sure it's the same. For sure it's the same. And, like T-Mac had to learn, I think, the first game he, scored a touchdown against San Diego State, like he did decent statistically, but you watch the film of that, there's a whole bunch to grow. So it took him about 3-4 games to really figure out the speed, the toughness, the physicality. And so that happens from freshman to sophomore year as well. Just playing faster, playing with more confidence, being more physical is all stuff that comes here too.
How would you describe the process of him expanding his repertoire?
Mm-hmm.
Like when we watch him out here now, it's a lot of different types of catches, different types of routes versus maybe when he first started out, it was just kind of like sideline stuff.
Right, yeah, and I think that was just part of him making the transition from high school to college, right? There's certain ways you got to run certain routes. You can't always tempo off the ball. Sometimes you got to come off the ball with real speed, and then sometimes you do have to tempo out of it. So I think just learning the details of our offense and, how to run each and every route. There were certain routes that we didn't have him run last year because it takes some time to learn. But now he's got the full playbook to his disposal, and so we put him in a bunch of those different situations.
You guys talked about him gaining, I think it was, 25 pounds to get to 215.
Mm-hmm.
How has that looked down on the training
field?
Yeah,
it's looked great. I mean, his body feels great. We're in camp, so nobody's body feels 100%,
Mm-hmm.
but body feels good. I thought today he played with great speed and great effort. And that just comes with, and not necessarily the numbers. Everybody looks at numbers, weight numbers, but it's really how much muscle mass he's putting on and how much those quick twitch muscles are getting with John in our speed school. And so I think that's really, the number's cool. He's about 210. That's cool, but it's really just the mobility and the strength that's really been impressive.
Kevin, what do you say to people in terms of T-Mac that say he's not a real fast receiver? And then the second part of that question is, what do you say that does allow him to get open so successfully?
Yeah, I would tell you to Google the 40s are the best receivers in the league. Right? They're not a bunch of 4.4s, 4.3s in there. So it's not all about speed, it's how you use your speed. And I think that's the thing that T-Mac's special with is, he can glide into a route, but be so good at the top of it that the DB isn't able to break on it so fast. So what makes T-Mac special is how good he is at the top of his routes and being able to push back to the ball and create that late separation.
What have you seen from A.J. Jones so far in training camp?
Yeah, playing with confidence, playing with physicality. I think AJ's he's young, so he's still growing. I think he had to get used to his lower half. I think as he's gotten more confident in his lower body, he's been able to start and stop more as far as his break transitions is concerned. And I think that's really elevated his game. And he's playing with a lot of confidence, right? He knows he can play this game. He knows he's got speed, he knows he's got size, he knows he's got good hands. And so I just think the overall confidence is getting there.
Do you think the rotation can open up more this year, or are you guys committed to just 3 guys?
Yeah, I think I've said it multiple times. Coach Fisher said it. The best guys are going to play, but if you can have a fresh rotation, that always makes your group even better. And so I think guys like Malachi's done a fantastic job. Like Malachi's going to try to find his way on the field. Montana's going to find his way on the field. KG is going to find his way on the field. And then you put AJ and Devin Hyatt, and then as of late, Carlos Wilson has been really stepping up his game. So I think just the guys keep getting better and better. They're competing. Jay Rich has got these DBs pushing us every day. So the talent level is raising, and so you feel more comfortable putting more guys in.
One of the things.
What's the dynamic like with the receivers and the DBs? You've noticed it's fun to trash talk with the coaches and the players and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome when you have coaches with as much energy and fire as Coach Jay Rich, Coach Keenan, and Coach Cecil, right? The fire that those guys bring, it elevates their players, and then I got to elevate my game too. I like to lay back and kind of be a little quiet, but as it ramps up and it gets a little intense, coaches get intense, the players get intense. You got guys knowing that they're going against the the best receiver in the Pac-12 and Jacob Cowing. And so when those guys go against him, they want to bring their A game. And so there's a little trash talk going on there, but it's all fun and games.
Kevin, how would you describe the reaction when Montana went into the portal and what was the process to get in there?
Yeah, it's always an interesting process, with the transfer portal. Guys go in and either everybody's in the market for a receiver at the transfer receiver at the time. So there's guys with phones are getting blown up by every school in the country that's looking for a receiver. So you just kind of work through it. You love to get the guys on campus and get them to see what this place is like, because this place is special. And so once we got him on campus, we felt confident about getting him here. But it was a battle.
And what can you tell us about the status of Rex Haynes? There was talk he's moving to defense. Is it here?
Yeah, so he'll be with the receivers. Yeah, he'll be with the receivers. Yeah.
One of the things you talked about focusing on this training camp was blocking and being in the run blocking as a receiver. How has that progressed? Where have you seen growth in that department for everybody?
Yeah, I think it's been really good. I think we'll have a good opportunity to see it tomorrow with some of the live stuff we'll do. But I think the key and what I found out is just their understanding of what we're trying to get done in the run game. We have so many different run schemes that as a receiver, if you're so focused on the pass plays and you don't study those different blocking schemes, I think that's what can get us in trouble. So I think we're in a good spot now where we understand, depending on what type of run we have, what our assignment is. And now they can play with confidence and go fit it up. And we have the physicality in the group. There's not a guy in my receiver room now that's not tough and physical. So we're handling that.
What's the benefit of having Montana being able to play both the slot and the Z position?
Yeah, every guy can do that. Every guy can do that for us now. Is play inside and outside. But Montana's physicality from the slot, I think, can add an advantage for us. He's going against tight ends or linebackers at times, and he can win that physical matchup. So whereas Jacob is going to use the finesse and the speed that he has to put those guys in trouble, okay, Montana can bring the physicality in there, and we've seen T-Mac do a little bit of that as well.
How do you think this year will set up Jacob for the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I think the sky's the limit for him. I think the way that Jacob has taken care of his body, the way he's taken care of his mental part of the game, I think he understands now that he can go out there and put up huge numbers again and have an opportunity to see him in an early draft pick. He's one of the top receivers in the country as far as career receiving yards, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. So he knows that all he has to do is keep working. There's no pressure. There's no concerns about what's going on. He knows who he is to this team and the opportunities we're going to give him. He just got to go out there and keep elevating his game each and every day.
All right, that's our time.